Today is September 25th, 2011. It's a fall day here in New Jersey. It's really humid and damp, about 70 degrees. My name is Kevin Inglin, as I said. Daniel, my son, is back behind the camera today. Wanted to talk a little bit about fall management and what to do with this. This is one of the hives on our hive site, and right now it's in a fall configuration. It's got 2 deeps, a medium super, there's a feeder on top. Haven't fed the bees and haven't been in here in a couple weeks, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on in here, but my objective for today is to get the hive into a fall configuration to overwinter. And what I mean by that is I want to take the brood wherever it is and I want to center it in the bottom box. I want to surround it with honey and pollen and then get 2 full frames of honey to the outside in the bottom box. And then whatever other honey is stored in here, I want to put it in the top box in a dome over top of the bees. This will get them in that configuration where we can overwinter them. They'll live in the bottom box off the honey and the pollen and whatever is down in there until it gets cold, and then slowly through winter and into spring they'll move their way up into the top box in preparation for the dandelions to break. Now right now it's probably the 2nd day of fall, and you can see I pulled a couple flowers here. They're actually right over here from behind me. The goldenrod is out, the asters. I'm not sure what this is, but I've seen the bees on this and other things out amongst the fields that are nearby here. So one of the other things that I do is I have a screen bottom board on this. I run that configuration so I could do mite counts through the season. And I personally like to put a solid bottom board underneath them for winter. Some people think that's just not necessary because in a screen one you could slide the slider in, close it off, and it prevents the draft. But for me it's just something I do. So as I change this stack today, I'm going to put this in. I've got a feeder on the top and no inner cover on, so the inner cover's sitting here so I can put that in, and I'll look to see whether I need to feed them at all for this season. So that's what we have on tap for today. You can see the girls are busy out going. There is rain in the forecast today. Quite frankly, it's going to be coming very soon, so we want to try and get this done. Not sure what their temperament's going to be, but we'll find out soon enough. So we're ready to do our inspection and reconfiguration. One of the things we're going to look at here is do our observation of outside the hive. While we were getting things ready, I was watching what's been going in and out. They're on the goldenrod right now, and you see a ton of bees coming in just loaded with pollen here. Every bee is totally packed and bringing it in, and there's, as you could probably see, quite a bit of activity here at the entrance. They seem to be going off in that direction, which is towards a pretty big field that I know is just kind of wildflowers and so on. So let's get started. I have my tools that I need to get going. The smoker has been lit and ready to go. First thing I'm going to do is put a little bit of smoke inside the hive. Give them a little warning that I'm coming. I'll come around here and get this. Smoker's been running a while here, and it's probably out of fuel. I had to do something, so alright, got a little smoke in there. I hear the buzz. Set this aside. What I'm doing here is I'm listening. I hear that heightened buzz inside the hive where they know that the smoke is there. I'm going to give them time to go find the honey that they typically do when it's time for them to evacuate the hive. I can see them taking the smoke out of the hive. I see little wisps coming out from the front entrance here as they clear it out. There's a lot of activity going on here today. I'm not exactly sure that I'm picking the best day to break this whole hive down and put it back together, but given my schedule and what has to happen, I guess we're going to take our chances. That's why I have a veil and gloves on. just in case they don't get very happy with me. So time to go take a peek inside, giving them a second to adjust to that smoke. One thing I note is I don't see any ants or anything on the cover. You know, there are times when we see a lot of ants coming up inside the hive trying to get to what they're getting to. Top feeder on the box, but there's nothing in it right now. It's propolized pretty well. Just going to crack that for now. Crank the smoker up just a smidge and put a little under here. I lifted that just a peek to get it underneath, and I could see bees all over the top frame of this honey super that's in here. I'm curious to know if in this fall flow they're bringing in some honey, so we'll find out. Oh, look at that, I see a hive beetle comes out. We haven't seen those at all here in New Jersey over the last couple of years, but this year I've seen a handful of them in the hives. I changed configuration on the new frame that has a slot in the top, and I can tell you right now I won't do that again. Alright, I'm just going to set this aside. And I look in here and I see, I'm just going to take a quick observation. Everybody's in on the honey, which is good. That's the objective I wanted. A quick peek at the bees. And all I'm going to do is just do a quick run through on this box and see what we have. So, first thing, I use this frame hanger. I know it's a gadget, but just makes my job easier, I believe. Just built out comb. We got here a little bit of storage. All I need is 2 frames out here, and I could just go through and take a look and leave the rest in the hive itself. This one's got some honey on it, which is great. Make sure there's no queen on it before I walk it over to you. And it looks like freshly capped honey, which is good news. That means that what we're seeing here. So let me walk this over and let you take a peek at it. I see a couple drones on here. I see good bees. You can see from being smoked, they're all heads down in the honey. There's some capped. That means they got good stores in here. And this is the top frame, or the top number 3 frame in here. And it's somewhat heavy, you know, so it's got a reasonable amount of weight, which means it's got a decent amount of honey. And I'm looking down right now through the box, and I can see that top box is absolutely loaded in there with bees, all the way across the tops of the frame. So that's good news through. I've seen what I want to see in this top super. I really wanted to know if they had honey stores, and my hope and desire is that they have these honey stores now, and as time comes for fall to come to a close, they'll pull all this honey down in as they need it, and then I can take this off when winter comes and leave them in a 2 deep setup. So I'm going to put this back together. Hive beetle, hive beetle, hive beetle. Fascinating. Again, not something I see very often here. Saw them in hive number 3 last time we did an inspection, but have not seen them in the other hives, so this is the first time I've seen it. Now I'm prying this box and I'm trying to be gentle that I don't jar them too much. And I'm making sure I have a good place to put it. I'm going to give my smoker a couple puffs, make sure it's ready to smoke. I'm going to take this up. Oh, you can see I'm running out of fuel. The smoker was lit for about 40 minutes because I forgot to get something prepped. I'm probably going to have to take a break and light it up, but smoke them down just a smidge. Now I put a little smoke here and they're all down in, which is good. I see a little burr comb here, which looks like a clean cut up on the top, which was probably down on the bottom. Nothing in it. So I'm going to set that here. I forgot my plastic bag to put my burr comb in. Couple guards inspecting me, just checking me out right now. Do a quick look down in this box. I see this one's got honey on it. I see this one's got a lot of cap. Number 5, and I see drone brood cap throughout 4 and 5. Just looking straight down, you could tell when you see those bullets through. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to grab number 1 here. Get these girls out of the way. And they really have this propolized. This hive constantly propolizes everything down. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it makes it for a sticky situation. And in this context, they also tend to, in this hive, I'm going to see if I can use this, they tend to put some bridge comb down to the bottom, which makes it hard to pull up. So broke it free. And what do I have here? A little bit of honey storage. Yeah, honey stored in the middle of the frame. The rest of it is pretty much empty. Little honey stored here too. See the bees are down. I see a lot of drones in here. I just, you know, one of the key things you're doing here for fall management is making sure that you are queen right. You want to make sure you have good patterns for the queen going into fall so that you have a good stock and also the right stuff going into spring. You have a strong queen. Again, a little bit of honey here capped. That's T2. This is the top box. Second frame in, T2. Going to go after T3 right now. And I see capped. Let's make sure the queen is not here before I do anything dumb. Do not see a queen. Peek on this side. I do not see a queen. So here I have T3, and I want to look at the frame closest to me, and I see capped brood. I do not see any larvae on the outside, which is not a good sign. But it could just mean that the queen has not been on this frame. I see some capped frame.
Bring it closer.
I see some capped here. I do see a little bit of larvae. And I'll just kind of change the light here so maybe you can get a view of it. So especially in this area right here, I can see larvae. And it's white, pearly, the way it should be. I just saw a yellow jacket crawling across the frame. Yep, so we're seeing brood. That's good. I want to see a couple frames of this. That's T3.